Welcome to The Collective, powered by MMP. The ideas presented here are intended to assist in developing a strong and profitable business for Amway IBOs affiliated with Markham Mann Productions. For the calendar year 2023, the average income from Amway for all U.S. registered IBOs at the Founders Platinum level and below was $841 before expenses. See www.amway.com/income-disclosure for details and the most up-to-date information. Earnings depend on many factors, including customer base, business experience, effort, dedication, and quality and performance of the downline sales team. Enjoy the following message.
Come on, guys! Who's excited? I can hear you! Okay. You're the man. I can hear you guys. Woo! I like that. I see the white lanyards. I like that. Congratulations. Welcome to all of you apprentices. Yeah. Welcome to each and every one of you. You know, this is exactly how they used to welcome me at work every day. You don't buy it? You know, guys, we are Chetan Veeda. Thank you. Have a seat, guys. Thank you very much. We are just the warm-up act here, guys, okay? The best is yet to come. But super excited to talk to you all. We're Chetan Veeda. For those of you who don't know us, we have a lot of new people, and it might be the first time you're seeing us. We're from Michigan area, on the other side of the state from the company. We were both professionals, quote unquote. I don't know, I still don't know what that means. But I had a couple of degrees in engineering, and I used to work for a big company. Can't tell you the name, but the initials were GM. And Vinita had an MBA in finance. She used to be a CFO. So, yeah, I know. And I had hair when I got in this thing. Yeah. But everything we have today and the people we are today is a function of this system. You know, a lot of times people think you get a great education, you get a good job, and you're going to be all set. And that's exactly what we were told. And but let me tell you, there are so many other things that you don't get outside. You don't get the camaraderie. You don't get the values. You don't get the a platform where you can build yourself up. You don't get a lot of those kind of things. And you certainly don't get a project that you can work with your spouse where you can get that close. So we're truly thankful to the Amway opportunity. Guys, if you have an IBO number, you have hope. Because you can take it to whatever level you want. There is no one there to stop you. It's your choice. Of course you'll have to work hard. Of course you'll have to learn. We're so thankful to this system. We're so thankful to MP. We're so thankful to all our coaches, you know, Sajid and Intisar and Raj and Sangeeta, and the MMP leadership and the Legacy Spartans leadership, you know, all the OGOs, Vinny and Dana and Ganesh and Rekha and Rashmi and Smita, Chuck and Uma, I mean, these, and the EC. Has this been a most incredible event so far? So organized. You know what? This is all a labor of love because people have spent literally scores and scores of hours to make this an opportunity for you where you can come, you can learn, you can apply by the end of the weekend, and you can make a difference in your life. You know, so it's up to you what you're going to take and how that's going to work out for you, okay? So, but anyway, guys, there's so many things we can talk. We have only a few minutes here, and I want to turn it over to this beautiful lady. You know, we have been now married for over 30 years.
30 years.
30 years. And amazing thing is she's still 21. You know, I don't know how that works, okay? And, but all good skincare and everything, right? And, but I tell you, no stress, being able to control your life. But guys, of course, this is an opportunity which can mean different things to different people. There are some people who just want to make a few $100s, and that's perfectly fine. You're more than welcome. But then there are some people who want to take that little business where you use some stuff, you sell some stuff, you maybe have a couple of downline, you want to scale it. You want to scale it to hundreds of IBOs and then thousands of IBOs and really hit the big time. But if you want to do that, it requires a different level of commitment. Just like if you're playing basketball in your driveway, it takes a level of commitment. If you want to play in the NBA, it's going to take another level of commitment. And you know what? If you have somebody with you who's willing to make that kind of commitment, life becomes very easy. So I have been blessed. I'm the most blessed man, to have this lady, because she is a warrior. She is very sweet. Everybody loves her, and she loves everybody. But she is tough, and she will do whatever it takes, plus more. So truly proud to have you as my life partner and my best friend. Here's Vinita.
Thank you, Chetan. Wow. What would you do to be introduced by your husband like that? Yeah? That's so special. Thank you, Chetan. I'm so blessed to be married to him. He's my best friend. He's my soulmate. Anything that happens to me, he's the first person first call goes to him. And I wish that upon each and every one of you, if you are married, you have a significant other, I wish that upon each and every one of you. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we chose to pursue common goals. And we're not here to talk about all that, but what we are going to share about with you tonight is building mental strength. The most premier real estate that you have are the 6 inches between your ears. That is where everything happens. As a man thinketh, so is he. Napoleon Hill. If you think victory, you are going to be victorious. If you think failure, you're going to be a failure. So think positive. We feel blessed to be a part of this incredible opportunity and the business community. What we have learned from here, what we have gained from here, has completely changed the trajectory of our lives. But for the grace of God, I believe it is divine force that guided us here, and I choose to lead into that grace every single day. Understand that to build an enterprise from ground up requires focus, requires hard work, requires grit, requires resilience. To achieve success, you need to embrace discomfort, and you must have the ability to dust yourself down, and get up again one more time, if you get knocked down. If you go through a few no's when you are trying to do the MG1s and MG2, take it to MG2, and people come to your board plan, if you go through your no's, what is your inner chatter? What is your inner dialogue with you? That is going to determine your success or failure. You have to shun the negative thoughts, and you have to focus on what you believe in. Naysayers are plenty in life. You'll meet a lot of them. Anytime somebody tries to move forward in life, advance in life, there'll be several people trying to put you down, several people trying to say why the path you are taking is not going to work. So you have to shun those negative thoughts and, build boundaries around your mind that you're not going to entertain that. You're not going to hang out with people who have a negative influence on you, especially on your mind, because people can one single sentence can change your life, So don't let any negative thought influence you. What do you plan to do about the negative chatter? You just have to get rid of it. And, I'm going to just share my experience with you. Since the age of 10, I grew up in a small town in India. There was no airport where I grew up. Now there is one. But I developed a dream to come to the United States of America. I always wanted to come here to be a student and become a student. There was nobody, no relative, no cousin of mine, no uncle of mine who was anywhere in the US or in UK or in any other part of the world. Everybody was in India. But I had this dream. Just by looking at a magazine my dad used to subscribe to, and I developed this dream. And, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the power of attraction, Since then, I used to always talk to my mother about it, that I want to go to the US to study. And she would laugh at me and say, how can you have that dream? And how can you even think about it? But God has a plan. The universe will go to work for you if you throw something out again and again and again. I was totally consumed with it. I kept growing up, and then I finished my high school, and I did 2 years of college. And, like I said, the law of universe always works. My sister, who's elder to me, got a proposal to get married to somebody who was in the United States. He was a US citizen, and he fell in love with my sister. And, once she came here, that was my ticket to come to the US, So, the law works. I used to go to my house, on the rooftop. We have flat roofs in India. We don't have and I used to sit there, and I used to visualize myself sitting on a plane going to the US, And I would just keep talking in English, because that's the language. I mean, I went to a good school, so I could speak English, but I just always spoke English. And so I attracted, the law of attraction works. Naysayers will be plenty, I talked about that. My cousins, my relatives, my uncle, everybody said, hey, there's no way you're going to get a visa to go to the US. You're single, you're young, and the counselor would know that you will have no intention of coming back. Well, that was my thought, for sure. That was my intention, right? So once I get the stamp, I'm not going back until I get my education. And then, of course, after education, who knows, right? So I refused to listen to the negative voices. I did not. So the day I was going to New Delhi to apply for my visa, my cousin said, you should have a plan B, just in case you don't get the visa. I said, bye, and I'll see you when I get back. The counselor at the consulate did not ask me a single question. Believe in the divine force, You have to have the faith. And I got a stamp, and I couldn't believe my passport when I saw the stamp, And here I come. So, hope, you have to have hope. Hope brings you closer to joy. Once I came here, I went through my struggles of being an international student, came out of school with a school loan, and then being exposed to the business opportunity and to the community. Life changed completely for me. Divine intervention. I know not what my future holds, but I know who holds my future. You have to have the faith. Meeting Chetan, that's also a miracle in my life. Getting married to him. We met through the business. Getting married to him. Was it a smooth ride building the business together? As a couple, yes, we had understanding because we met. We had same mindset, same thought process. But to build the business, we had to go through our share of valleys and peaks and our struggles, our challenges, our no's, letting go of people who were not building with us anymore. But we had to stay strong. We had to stay strong because we had made the decision to go diamond. So whatever you go through, just once you own the decision that you make, you have to make it right. So that's what we focused on. Small steps lead to big accomplishments. You take if you want to accomplish something significant in your life, you have to take one significant step a day. Through all these years of living my life, building the business, there is this one message I want to leave you with. Once you make a decision, you make it right. Own the choices that you make. Let your choices reflect your hopes, not fears. Break through the mental barriers that you have, any mental barriers that you have. to live a life of significance. With that, I'm done. We love you all. And I want to share with you my best friend, my soulmate, Chetan.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we got a few minutes, and I'm going to give you a few things rapid fire. We've been in the business for some time. As I said, I did have hair when I got started. And, you know, I don't know if I lost it because of the business, because of my son, because of my wife, or I just lost it because of my mom and dad, you know. So, but we've been in this thing for 3 decades. We've been around the block. We've had some success. In fact, I'd like to welcome brand new executive committee members from our team. This year they qualified. Anand and Pushpa, they're part of Chuck and Uma's team. You know, part of Satish and Sushma's team. So we got a growing team. In fact, in our business in India, again, downline from Satish and Sushma, we have a brand new EDC. We don't take credit for it. We did some initial work, and then they picked up the baton, and they made it. So we have seen a lot. We have seen some success in our group. We have seen a lot of success outside our group. And as smart people, you want to learn from all the success. You know, and Vinita said, right, everything is between these 2 years. You know, the way you see things is the way they become. You know, it's not going to be easy. If you want to build a business to the highest echelons, it's not going to be easy. In fact, nothing great is easy. You saw Ravi and Aarti come up. Ravi's got a PhD. He's got a PhD from Georgia Tech. He's got an undergrad degree from one of the most elite institutes in the world. And these are hard things to do. You know, if you want to run a marathon, or if you want to do a triathlon, or whatever, it's going to take effort. It's going to require you to train. It's going to require you to cut out a few things. It's going to require you to change your life. And same way if you're going to build a business. But in my opinion, of all businesses you can build, this is actually the easiest one to build. Because we know entrepreneurs. I know a lot of business people. And I know stories. Nowhere else are you going to have somebody say, hey, we are going to invest thousands of dollars in training and education for you. We are going to be there ready for you to take your phone call when you need our help. So apprentices, you got the best thing going. Amway Promise and the system Promise is incredible. But here's the thing. You know, we have a son. He's a computer engineer, software engineer. And I didn't do my undergrad here in this country. He went to University of Michigan, which is a really big school. And he was telling me, Dad, there's like 1,000 people in my chemistry class. I said, 1,000 people? So why are there 1,000 people in your chemistry class? He said, well, you know, chemistry and math, and these are the classes where they weed people out, right? And we don't want to weed anybody out. But you have to ask yourself, are you going to weed yourself out? Are we going to step up after we get this apprentice thing done? Are we going to take advantage of this to acquire the skills and so on and so forth? So let me give you a few observations along the way. We can talk a long time, and then I'm going to give you a simple example. So what does it really take? And you hear it all the time. I don't know about you. Everybody's situation in life is different. And people come from every walk of life. Some people will come in just to save a couple of $100 and they'll go reach a really high level in the business. But in our case, we were doing okay. You know, we had great jobs. And making a little bit of money extra was not going to make any difference for me. In fact, it didn't motivate me. I needed something bigger, you know, and it had to be something emotional. I hope you have a big, bodacious dream. I hope you have a big nightmare that is keeping you up, that you're going to do something. Because believe me, it's going to require work. That's the cold, hard reality of this whole thing. Okay, it is going to require work if you want to build it to the highest of echelons. But it's not just like some people are like, oh, I got work to do. So they're like, who's that? I'm from another country, guys, so you help me. But who's that guy who has to carry the rock up and then it slides down and carries the rock up? Sisyphus, right? Some people have the rock of Sisyphus. Okay, they say, oh, I'm going to build my business. They put so much pressure. And now they're like crying. And their face is like, and nobody wants to join their team. In fact, their wife says, what happened to you? You know, you have to have joy. Why? We are creating a movement. I hope you have a big dream. I hope you know what you want. I hope you're excited about it. I hope you have joy. You know, second thing is, this is very common. And I think it's more common today than when we started. People are looking too much for other people's approval. Think about it. Somebody posts something on Instagram and then they're checking how many likes they got. Guys, it doesn't matter who likes what you do or who doesn't like what you do. The number one secret to success is the ability to think independently and stand alone when nobody's with you. It's true not just in this business, it's true in every business. And you know how badly you want something based upon what you're willing to put on the line. Ooh, it's getting quiet here. Okay. All right. Listen, critics are a dime a dozen. Nobody erects statues to them, and they don't send your kids to college. All right. You will have to change. And everybody will have to change differently. Because anybody can build a big business, but everybody may have a little bit of a different path. You are you. You are uniquely you. And God gave you a dream, so you can get your dream done, but you'll have to make some changes. Maybe in my case, because I was an introvert, I had to learn actually how to smile and say hello and pick up the phone and call people. Maybe for some of you, you'll have to figure out your finances. Maybe some of you need to learn how to make a calendar. But the reality is that we all will have to change. And we need to get excited about the change because nothing great happens without change. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I was excited. And you know why I was excited? Because I was hungry. You know why I was hungry? I didn't want in this country to get laid off like I saw some other people get laid off. I wanted to be the captain of my own ship. Not today, not tomorrow, but at some point in time, I wanted to own my life. I don't know about you. Can anybody feel me? You know, Vinny said a great thing. Somebody brought, actually even before that, the only way out of this is to get all the way through it. In fact, today, we went with some qualifiers in our team. We did a rope obstacle course. You know how it is, like you go up and you go on ropes and you have this little harness and all that. And I have these young guys with me. They're like 25 years old and I'm double their age. You know, and they're all walking across and I'm telling them, guys, the only way to get through to the end of the obstacle course is go through all the obstacles. The only way to get success is to take it head on. You cannot tiptoe through the tulips, right? And how do you do that? See, this is a movement. This is not a traditional business. It's not profit and loss and how you're going to manage your inventory and what you're going to do. You are creating a movement. And you create a movement by your example. So talk is cheap. Question is, are you going to have a new leg at the next board plan? How does your calendar look like? How does your calendar look like week to week? What will happen? You know what else I found? Resilience. They are resilient. Guys, anybody who builds a big business, especially in this business, we all have to be resilient. People are going to come. Some people are going to come. They're going to come in for a season. And some people are going to stay for the long haul. And you might be so surprised. I remember when I got in and I had this I had this classmate of mine. He was a total opposite of me. I was the introvert. I was the bookworm. I would look in the corner. I would not smile at people. And he knew everybody. I know there are engineers who actually know everybody, who smile too. Okay, so he was one of those. And I said, this guy is going to be great. But he didn't even get started in the business. Then I launched some people in the business, and they were so crispy sharp. I had to learn how to put on a suit and a tie, and it looks like they went to sleep in a suit and tie. You know, they were so sharp, they talked everything, so articulate. I said, wow, these guys are going to be great. And 2 months later, I can't find him. Then I had one guy, in fact, many of them, they all come in different iterations. They came to an event like this. And they said, after the event, so emotional, Chetan, count on me, man. I'm your next diamond. Count on me, I'm making this happen. Watch for me. And I've been watching for them since. Don't be that guy. Guys, all companies have to reinvent themselves. We have to reinvent ourselves too. Our company, Amway, is reinventing we have to reinvent too. All right? I just want to, and this is all a package deal. You know, the more you do, the more you're going to have it. The bigger faith you have, the easier it's going to be for you. Let me also just say a couple of quick things. Have some grace for yourself. I want to talk to some of the guys who've been in the business some time. Some of you are hurting because you know you need to do something, you should have fixed that, you should have done this, and now you're beating up on yourself. You know, hey, it's okay. This is the most forgiving business. You can, in 90 days, you can recreate momentum for yourself. Okay? You know, we are all allowed to make mistakes. Just don't keep making the same ones again and again. You know, there are times in your life where you succeeded. Think about those successes. Visualize your success. Talk success. Disassociate with people who bring you down. Ask the right questions. Look at every obstacle as something, what can I learn and how can I step up? We all have to do it. But it's absolutely worth it. You know, I just want to quickly talk about this couple that went EDC in our team in India. They're part of Satish and Sushma's team. And this is, you know, he's a skilled tradesperson. He was a union guy in a steel plant. Now you might say, that's good. It might be perfectly respectable in US, but in India, that's like bottom of the barrel. He couldn't speak any English. He couldn't speak any Hindi. But he caught a dream. He was laid up in a hospital. He learned how to teach himself a little bit of Hindi and English so he could listen to the audios. We talked on the phone, not me, all his upline, and guided him and made trips. And he started growing his business. You know, he went platinum, he went emerald, they went diamond. And in the second year of diamond, they had 100 Q12s at the Achievers trip in India. Great story of victory, right? But let me tell you, life will move on. There were some issues. Not with him, not with what he was doing, not with Amway, but that particular state in India, they had some issues. And at one point in time, his business fell down to platinum. You know? Yeah, you'll never have to face that here. But guess what, guys? You have a choice. Those are the existential moments in our life. That's when you find out what defines you. He could have said, I've had a good run. I've saved up a lot of money. It's done. But he said, no, I'm going to regroup. We're going to make it happen. And guess what? This year, guys, they closed up as new EDCs with 12 new Founders Platinum legs and 2 new Sapphires. Okay? It's not what happens to us that defines us. It's how we are going to react to what's inevitably going to happen to us that's going to make the difference. I hope you'll make the right choices because, you know, we are waiting for you to welcome you to bigger and better things in life. God bless. We love you all.